Hello everyone, and welcome back to Alternate History of the World, episode 4, I believe it is. Is it 4? Is it 3? I don't remember what episode it is. But yeah, you may notice I have a new map, and this is actually because I have a new software that I'm going to be using for this. It's paint.net. I'll link it in the description down below. Most mappers I see that do mapping in a style that I've been doing it in, if you've been watching these, they usually use paint.net, I think. Maybe they use flip a clip, I don't know, but anyways, I'm going to be using paint.net for this. I added cities. We now have cities. So we have cities over here, here. If we turn off capitals, we have cities now. And I know I said I was going to add ports. I'll do that probably after this, but we don't care about cities. Cities are useless. What we do care about is beginning. So let's do just that. So last time we watched a giant war here in the Indian Peninsula. I almost said Korean Peninsula, my bad guys. We saw a massive war in the Indian Peninsula go on. Where's the Indian subcontinent? I don't know. So last episode we saw a major war break out in the Indian Peninsula, which had exploration over here come to a halt. But now that the war is over, exploration will once again continue. So they will begin to explore more of the Arabian Peninsula. These two small countries right here, I'm pretty sure they are the smallest. They're also going to begin... Oh, what the heck. That's weird. They're going to begin their own exploration and their own missions to explore more of the area. The exploration goes well, and I don't know why it's being all weird over here. So we're just going to use the... Oh. This is very annoying. But not as annoying as the first time I recorded this. This is actually the second time I've recorded this episode. The first time I recorded it, the map I was using was very, very wacky, and so I had to re-record it, which is what you're seeing right now, hopefully. Because I don't want to re-record this again. It would take way too long. But because, due to the fact that I've already recorded this, I know exactly what I'm doing, and can these guys stop pinging me on Discord? This is the third episode in a row, probably. So, it's actually getting annoying. Well, the replace tool is being wacky, but I honestly don't have time to care. What I do have time to care about is getting to the important stuff. That is exploration. They'll begin missions into Egypt, or not Egypt, but Africa, and they will send boats down here. They will discover whatever island right here exists. I'm pretty sure Yemen owns that. And then they will come down here to the Horn of Africa, the very, very tip of it. They'll then begin missions to hook up back with everyone else in the mainland that they understand and know exists. And this goes very successfully. They then begin to move south on the Horn of Africa. So they now know that the Horn of Africa exists. In the Arabian Peninsula, multiple large groups begin to come over, and they are ready to finally at last discover what the Arabian Peninsula is. Of course, as we all know, it's mostly desert, so this won't be an easy task. They begin moving up here, over where the sign, or not sign, but light blue country is at, also kind of where the sign country is at. And they begin to move south in the Arabian Peninsula, discovering more and more of it. Of course, it's mostly desert over in the Arabian Peninsula, so it's going to be fairly difficult. They then begin to do what they did before in the Indian Peninsula. I think it was in the Indian Peninsula, I don't remember. But they then begin to... No, it was with the Chinese over here. What they will do is they will create a large expedition that will cut all the undiscovered land in half, thus making it easier to discover what land exists over here. And they discover, well, you're whack. They discover everything up over here first, and then begin an expedition that goes south, discovers everything over here. So now all of the Arabian Peninsula is discovered, and this guy over here is very wacky and I don't like it, so it's going to expand to look better, because I told it to. They claim everything south of this Vietnam-looking area that was once right here, but is no longer there. Now they are a very long boy. Also, I don't know why that's there. These two countries, because they're fairly new, they don't have very good established governments, so they're going to have to try and expand if they want to stabilize. However, it's not just their governments that aren't very good, it's their economies. Their currency is terrible and they're beginning to fail. So when these two countries begin to border each other, they realize that they are in very similar situations. So the grayish cyan country right here allows themselves to be annexed by the red-pink country right here. Just like that, that's one less country we have to worry about. An expedition is sent into Italy, which goes very well. They discover most of the peninsula. And then we're gonna move up in a northern fashion, taking over the eastern coast of the Italian peninsula, and then hooking back with the known Balkan regions. Over in Africa, they send out another expedition to begin to explore over here, which goes fairly well. They discover everything over here and then parts of over here. The expedition over here notices land that is the Iberian Peninsula. However, they don't have boats, so they decide to begin to move back to the mainland so they can obtain boats. This way they can explore whatever's over here. They technically do know about over here though, but it's not that much. The Crimea nation hooks up with people from the Blue Nation and begin an expedition to discover more of over here. I don't have a geography map of over here, but I'm pretty sure there's a mountain range. So for this reason, they will go through Crimea around the mountains, which I'm pretty sure are over here. And this will go pretty well. They will hook up with, I don't remember what sea this is, but they hook up with it. They then begin to move along the coast of this sea until they meet up with everyone over here. They then send a group of 200 or 300 people to explore the mountain ranges over here. It goes successfully, and now they have increased their knowledge of the area. Now, this country, which while it does look like the same color as this country, is not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a light orange. I don't know why it looks like that. I'll have to fix it. But it begins to move north of the Arabian Peninsula, taking modern UAE. In the Indian Peninsula, they send out an expedition to move along the coast to discover more of the peninsula, if you can even call it a peninsula. I'm pretty sure it's a peninsula. It's either a peninsula, well, it's either a peninsula or a subcontinent. I'm very certain it's a peninsula. So they begin to move along the coast, and I'm pretty sure there is a couple mountains and rivers over here, but they discover for the most part everything that I have colored in white just now. The expedition is deemed a success. The Green Nation, while it is stated to be neutral, will still help to explore. We'll discover the Maldives. My bad, they actually are already on the Maldives. So what they'll do instead is they'll begin to move eastward, thinking, hey, if we find land over here, we can land right there and then hook up with everyone up here and almost at modern Bangladesh. So if they can get a modern Thailand, which they don't know about because it doesn't exist, and then move northward, they can go through modern Myanmar and Cambodia and countries like that to modern Laos to hook up with the exploration group that they know of. So they're going to do just that. They'll discover some islands over here. which will prove their theory correct. They'll then send out an expedition over here, where they will discover, I'm pretty sure this is modern Thailand, or maybe modern Myanmar, I don't know. They then begin to move northward, following whatever peninsula this is called. Is it a peninsula? I think it is a peninsula. I'm just going to call it. They stick to the coast, because that's something they're very good at. It's something that every country is very good at. They then begin to move around the coast of Myanmar, and they begin to move northernward. They move more and more up into modern Bangladesh, and at last they hook up with everyone else over here. China begins an expedition over down here. They discover more of down here, however, this is modern Vietnam, and as we all know, Vietnam has jungles, and lots of them at that, so they'll be forced to stop right around here. As the expedition group comes back, they instead begin to work on discovering what's over here. They hook up with everyone from over here, down south, to up here in the north, and over here is quickly discovered very easily. Over here, the red-pink country will claim the island that modern Yemen owns. I don't know what the island's called. And then they begin to expand west. Southwest, to be more exact. And they move a little bit north, hook up with the light orange nation, and their exploration stops. They have to work on themselves, as they are very unstable and have a terrible economy. At long last, the expedition comes back over to, this is modern Morocco, I believe. They send boats across whatever strait this is. I want to say it's the Strait of Gibraltar, but I know for a fact that's wrong. And they enter into modern Spain and Iberia. They've now entered the Iberian Peninsula, and people from the Blue Nation want to sail across the ocean to meet up with everyone to help explore. When they do this, however, they can either go from Sicily down here, or also Sicily but around here. Or if we turn on cities, we can see that actually they only have one choice. It's Sicily. And even then it'll be a long journey. A group of people come offshore, sail from around here, around this island. They move through the Mediterranean Sea, and they meet up with this island, which I don't remember what it's called, but it's under modern French rulership. And they quickly discover the entire thing, along with their other island that's bordering it. I don't remember what these two islands are called. They then set across to find whatever these islands are. I know they're for a fact they're under modern Spain rulership. I should probably look this up, or get a geography map up. At last they make a landing in modern Spain. They move along the coast, down south, and then meet up with the orange and pink team, which is probably what the group over here is, considering the fact that the orange and pink team are the closest here. Red is probably uninterested. They're trying to recover themselves after the recently won war that I don't think many of their people were excited about. And this country right here is probably too busy trying to figure themselves out, because they just had their government overthrown by the red country, so they're not in a good position. Back over near the Italian, not the Italian peninsula, but Indian peninsula, my bad. Another expedition is sent out to discover more land near the already discovered strait over here. They then wander off by accident. They lose track, because if I'm correct, it's pretty lush over here, and there might be a couple of jungles. That or it's complete desert, but can you blame them when there's basically nothing over here? You don't know what to be looking for. Some people head back, but then also wander off course and begin to move south into modern Myanmar, and they end up right here when they find the coast. They realize that they followed the wrong path and mark down what they've discovered. This group of now 20 people, which started as 100, moves upwards to split this in half. They discover most everything over here. But once that's done, most of their people are exhausted, so they begin to journey back. Probably only like 10 people make it back. Everyone else, however, is exploring over here. And they move closer and closer to China until eventually they're ready to go back, and they do just that. And they're very close to the Chinese, but unfortunately they will not meet. The rest of the Italian peninsula is discovered, which is deemed a good success. The blue team forces everyone over here, however, to expand, which they don't want to do. They like having their little settlement, and everything up here is recently discovered. They don't know much about up there, or if there's anything hostile. After a large argument, this will end in a civil war, and the Italian colony will break off, starting right there in Sicily, then expanding to the rest of Sicily, to eventually encompass all of the Italian peninsula, so that way a new country can form. The blue team dislike this, so in order to repair for what they've lost, they force the Balkan nation, the Balkan part of them up here, to also expand. However, as they do this, some of their people begin to question the government, maybe that the dark yellow nation over here is actually right. Maybe there are hostile and demonic entities over here that will end them all, and it'll be the doom and the fate of the world. It'll be horrible, and it'll be some terrible thing. So, a large group of people over here decided to break off from the blue team as well. They begin up here in the Newfound lands, but not Newfoundland, because that's over here. The rebellion also quickly expands. It comes over here, takes that. I don't know what country that is right there. The Balkans are difficult to guess at an eye view, so can you blame me? They then begin to move south of the Balkan area. And they then begin to move further and further into the Balkans that the blue team owns. However, soon their own people become unrested, and some of their own friends backstab each other in the light sign. I don't know what color this is. It's the light blue, but it itself has its own rebellion over here. I don't know why that did that. It's probably because these two are the similar colors. So it'll still come over here. It'll begin right there. It'll begin to expand by itself without the guidance of the light blue team. It'll begin to come over into the light blue team, and it'll begin to take land. It'll both expand and take land, and then of course, because it's also technically originating from a rebellion about the blue team, it'll take land from the blue team, until eventually these guys peace out. And so, 3 new countries have been formed, which doesn't look too good in the eyes of the blue. The people that didn't rebel, however, decide to help the blue team by, without their own guidance, exploring and claiming land over here, which the blue team then approves of. They come over here and border Crimea. The purple nation over here is neutral and has no plans of expanding except for right there, because I don't know, that was supposed to be colored in. I don't know why it wasn't. Elsewhere, the Chinese explore, come over here. They move across here, They hit a coastline over here, move around it, through modern Bangladesh, down the Indian Peninsula, until they eventually meet the peach country over here. Just like that, these new countries have now seen each other, and the world goes wild over this. The red is obviously not happy, because the last time something major happened, and was very important, it was this discovery of Sri Lanka over here. And when that happened, they had to go to war, because their ally was getting mad. And also, of course, they needed to expand, they needed to prove themselves they're superior to everyone. So they're not very happy, so they enter a state of isolation until the whole world calms down about the new discovery. The Koreans up here will discover most of modern North Korea, then come down south to, of course, South Korea, until eventually all of the Korean peninsula is discovered, along with some nearby islands. Of course, the banana country over here, they come down, and they claim the new location and the new land that they've just discovered. The Korean country then helps fund Chinese exploration to come along over here to create more discovered land over here. They come around over here. This way there's more area for the new nations to meet. They come around over here, and they, instead of going down south like they did before, they begin to loop around over here, thinking there maybe could be some more countries over here, and of course there are. In the process, all of down here is discovered, so most of the Italian peninsula has been discovered and mapped out. The whole world, of course, is going crazy about this. They just discovered more land over here, which they could loop up with Italy. So parts of modern Iberia have been discovered. The Chinese and Koreans have been discovered. It's wild. The largest expedition in history begins with over 3,000 people from Chinese and Korean nations coming over to meet with everyone else. They then send people from down up here, which I'm pretty sure follows a river. They no longer follow the river. They move south to meet up with the discovered lands. So this giant area of land right here is discovered. A group of people who come from both nations decide that they're going to take advantage of this. They come over here and they create a olive country, I think this is olive, in modern day Bangladesh. Their goal is that if either country wants to cross through them, if anyone from the west or the east want to meet or talk or something like that, they have to go through this. In other words, they're taking advantage of the situation, and it will work for the most part. It will leave a small slit right here open, and people will barely be able to walk through that to meet with one another, which they will then get very angered by, and they will then take that. Members from the light blue country and the light orange country will come over here. They will take advantage of the small slit of land. They will form a small nation right here. It's a dark gray blue, I think. Yeah, that's what it is for the most part. And they create a small nation over here that will take advantage of the little amounts of discovered land they have right here. So the entire world is just gone mad for all of this. Everyone is losing their minds. The two islands that in real life are under French occupation have people settle on them to create their own nation, the Pink Nation, whom sail around, take these modern Spanish islands, and then sail more to claim parts of Iberia, until eventually everything that has been discovered of Iberia has been claimed by them. They then set out an expedition to discover more land in the Iberian. It goes very, very well. But eventually they have to stop as their people begin to destabilize, so they have to stop for a moment to stabilize them and figure themselves out. What is their goals and stuff like that. And that, my friends, is where we leave this off. This is understandably a shorter episode, but the last 2 episodes have been over 30 minutes, and I wanted a short one. Short compared to the other 2. So this one is under 20 minutes long, or under 25, and so yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace, see ya.